then recently news came that NASA is in trouble. Recently, NASA sent its lucky prop to investigate some asteroids called Trojan asteroids, because these streaks remain intact even after rotating in the orbit of Jupiter. They dodge its gravitational pull but gas, then suddenly a signal is received that this space mission of the plane for the next 12 years is going to fail in the next 12 minutes. So what was that signal which put NASA in trouble, and why was he not afraid of the failure of a mission whose total estimated cost over the next 12 years was less than a single loan for NASA's moon mission? Well, friends, if you ask me, then perhaps this mission is just another profit for NASA. Not just a lost statement, but it was also a very distressing mission for him personally, the reflection of which can be seen in the name of this mission, which is Lucy. Now, NASA had named this on the fossil of an almost complete female found in 1974, because its name was also Look. The story of this fossil is so interesting. After listening to it, you will understand yourself why it was named Look. So listen carefully. The day was 24th November 1974, and the entire afternoon was spent in the Gum Desert of Ethiopia. Later, the RK scientists present they were about to go back to their campus with disappointment, but suddenly while moving towards their car parked far away, one of them noticed a bone coming out of the ground and came to know that it was the first bone in the world. There is such a fossil, which could prove that our sister stone could walk standing straight even in the past. And then what? As soon as people returned to their campus, they had a joyous party of drinking and tasting all night long. He went to sleep humming the song "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds" by the Beatles, and when he woke up in the morning, he was drunk and didn't even realize that the night before he had been given the title of Already Look by Fossil. And who exactly named her Lucy? That is, these short aunts were going to become famous overnight, not just for one, but for two reasons. One serious and the other funny, and almost wanted to take advantage of this film after 50 years. In fact, when we found the Trojan asteroid, it completely turned the understanding of our solar system upside down. In fact, it was on February 26, 1906, when the German astronomer Max Wolf was studying space, then he noticed that Jupiter's orbit around the Sun. Now, how can this be possible? Because this is the definition of planets, and everything that comes in their path is either thrown out of the solar system by their gravity, or inside they are formed and those objects become a part of the planet. But in this particular way, despite having the heavy gravity of asteroid Jupiter, Wolf, who was walking ahead of him, tried hard to find out why this was happening. But time passed, and before he could tell anything, one of his disciples drew the world's attention to another one moving in the orbit of Jupiter, diverted towards an asteroid, but this time towards a Trojan asteroid, which was not moving ahead of Jupiter but behind it. Scientist one literally baffles, what is happening in the end? The most fundamental definition of our planet is being challenged. So basically it means kid off that we cannot call Jupiter a planet, and that is why many researchers were done on this. And it came to light that, yes, kid off, a joke is being played on us because both the asteroids are in the Lagrange region of J-Salmer Jupiter. It is situated at the points where the thing becomes a probe. The asteroid starts behaving differently from our expectations. Then look at both the asteroids. Jupiter's Lagrange, which is situated at the points L4 and L5, where the gravity of Jupiter and the Sun interact with each other. It cancels, and there is no gravitational force on these asteroids here. That is, this is such a perfect spot where any prop sent by us can study the asteroids without being influenced by Jupiter. But one second, if it is so, then last, why has no space agency sent a probe here in 115 years? The answer is very simple. The reason behind not sending a mission to these asteroids till now was the complex to reach there. On the basis of fat example, if you are lucky, then the mission's plant. If you look at the text itself, you will know that Lucy Pro will first study the Trojan asteroids ahead of Jupiter with the help of Earth's gravity, and then will return to Earth and with another gravity assist will study the Trojan asteroids behind Jupiter. So complicated, right? This is just a complication. Apart from this, you can see in this animation that during this mission it is going to pass very close to many inner belt asteroids, meaning one small mistake and from the first part in the problem. Even before reaching it, it sent a distress signal to NASA. After the launch of U, as soon as its solar panels were about to open, one of the solar panels named Plus A did not open completely, due to which the entire mission was compromised. Because, according to the mechanism of these panels, the motor behind them was supposed to open those solar panels by releasing a rope, but then what happened was that the rope to open the panels got stuck in the motor itself for some reason. This is the fact of NASA scientist Levy's. It was believed that due to less tension in the rope, it had wrapped itself around its motor like a magnetic tape, and now nothing could happen. In this do-or-kill situation, NASA had only two options. First, without tampering with the probe, keep the prop handicapped and let it fly, which will affect the quality of the research. But what can he do? Or the other option is he took the risk of repairing the probe, in which the delicate solar panels could break and the entire mission could fail. Do no gas. What choice will NASA make? Well, you are not Manoj, but NASA has ensured quality. The only problem with this second option was that they had to know exactly how much the panel was exposed. And since there was no camera on the prop facing the panels, this basically had to be done by blindfolding them. And then what? They created a unique way. They vibrated the panels with Lucy's thruster and collected its data, and then they fed the data into a computer model, which showed them that the Plus A panel only extends up to 370 Lars. It is open, that is, if it has to be opened, then the motor will have to rotate with a little extra top. So the scientist came up with an idea. Let's do one less by running the primary and backup motor of the prop together, so that the fancy rope in the motor will be taken out and the panels will be completed. We'll open in a proper way, and by doing so, D-plane and set and 3-in-1, NASA twisted the rope and the donor approach packed in action. Because in this prop, NASA has installed many high-tech instruments like this 2-in-1 detector, which is present on asteroids. Due to the major crisis of organic compounds and the horoscope of those asteroids by detecting the unique fingerprint of each compound present in them. This mission could not be compromised under any circumstances. Now, this mission will not basically be that light will come inside it from the Trojan asteroid. Then a beam splitter, or simply a glass prism arrangement, will split this light into visible and infrared, and finally this split light will go to different sensors and give us information about different compounds. For example, when the color camps of visible light look like NBC and infrared. When light falls on these asteroids, their color bands will give us information about 5 different compounds. Watch more. One level above this is this LTS instrument, which will specifically measure the thermal inertia of these asteroids, or simply the time taken for them to cool down, and a heat map will be created. From such a heat map, it will be known from which materials the surface of the asteroids is made, because you might not know, but the thermal inertia of all the particles is always different. Apart from this, NASA has such a resolution in it. A camera has also been installed which can take definition images from one side of a cricket ground to the other, even this small fly. And not just for us, but for our future generation, because you are not Manoj. Along with all these instruments, it also has a time capsule has also been added in, which some messages have been left on a tablet for our descendants. Now, why was this done? You must be thinking like me, my friend. I wish this happens for us, right? Look, this is the breakfast plan. After Lucky completes his mission, the Trojan will keep roaming among the asteroids for thousands of years, that is, whether we are there in the future or not. Our future generation living on this Earth will be able to see the look, and with its help, they will also be able to know their past life. On one hand, NASA has sent a dedicated mission after a lot of planning to study the introvert asteroid.